The 25, 15, 50, 10 rule that made me thousands. Are you earning more money but still feel just as broke? Do you get that sinking feeling when you check your bank account, wondering where it all went? What if I told you the secret to getting good with money isn't just about earning more? We're all taught that a bigger payslip is the golden ticket, but honestly, that's not the full story. You see stats all the time showing a massive chunk of people in the UK are living payday to payday. And what's truly mind-blowing is that this includes people on six-figure incomes. They earn more, they just spend more. The problem isn't always the size of your income. It's the fact that you don't have a system for your money. Trust me, I was in the exact same boat. I still remember that constant, low-grade stress. The idea of having thousands in savings felt like a total fantasy. It wasn't until I stopped chasing a higher salary and started building a system for the money I already had that everything changed. In this video, I'm going to share the exact 25, 15 to 50, 10 rule that took me from zero to having thousands saved up. This isn't some get-rich-quick nonsense. This is the blueprint that built a proper savings habit for me, and it's way simpler than you think. If you're ready to stop stressing about money and finally take control, do yourself a massive favor and subscribe to the channel now. You don't want to miss the simple, practical steps that are coming right up. Let's be honest, the way most of us handle money is total chaos. You get paid, you pay some bills, you spend what's left, and then you just hope there's something left to save at the end of the month. Sound familiar? That's reactive, not proactive. And it's why so many people feel trapped. It's also why you hear those shocking stories about professional footballers going broke. They have a massive income, but without a framework to manage it, it just disappears. Income does not equal wealth. Wealth is what you keep and what you put to work. Before I had this system, my finances were a disaster. I was a decent earner, but God, I was a great spender. Every time I got a pay rise, my lifestyle would magically inflate to meet it. A nicer flat, a flashier car, more dinners out. I was running on a financial treadmill, working harder and harder just to stay in the exact same spot. The average retirement pot for people getting close to it is shockingly low, a fraction of what experts recommend. I was headed straight for that statistic. I realized willpower wasn't the answer. You can't just try harder to save money. You need a system that makes the right decisions automatic. That's when I pieced this rule together from the principles that financially savvy people actually use. And studies confirm that most people who build up savings do it over decades of consistent habits. They didn't win the lottery, they just followed a plan. This is that plan, broken down into 4 simple numbers: 25, 15, 50, and 10. All right, this is the most exciting part, and it's the engine that will actually build you thousands. The first 25% of your after-tax income goes directly into your growth bucket. This money has one job and one job only: to be invested so it can grow and make more money for you. Think of it like planting seeds. You're not just stashing cash, you're putting it to work. For most people, the easiest and most effective way to do this is by investing in low-cost index funds, maybe one that tracks the global economy. You're not trying to be a stock-picking genius. Most professionals can't even beat the market. You're just buying a small piece of the entire economy and letting it grow over time through the power of compound growth. Let me show you why starting early is everything. Imagine 2 friends, Billy and Phil. Billy starts investing $200 a month at age 20. Phil waits until he's 30, but invests $300 a month to catch up. Assuming a 10% average annual return, which is historically in line with the market but is definitely not guaranteed, by the time they're 60, Billy has about $1.26 million. Phil, despite investing more money each month, only has around $678,000. That's the insane power of giving your money time to grow. To supercharge this, use tax-efficient accounts. In the UK, this is your stocks and shares ISA. The allowance is holding at $20,000 for the 2026-2027 tax year. Yes, 25% is an aggressive goal, far above the average UK savings rate. but it's what separates those who build serious savings from those who just get by. Next up, 15% of your income goes into your stability bucket. This is your financial fortress. It's the safety net that protects you from all the curveballs life throws your way. This isn't an investment, it's insurance against chaos. This money's job is to stop one bad event, a job loss, a sudden vet bill, an emergency car repair, from blowing up your entire financial life. The goal here is to build up 3 to 6 months' worth of your essential living expenses. And I mean essential. Just the bare-bones costs to survive, which we'll get to in a minute. A huge mistake people make is skipping this step. They get hyped about investing and just pour everything into the growth bucket. That is so risky. If you lose your job and all your money is tied up in the market, you might have to sell at the absolute worst time, locking in your losses and destroying your long-term goals. Think of this stability fund as your permission slip to invest with confidence. You know that no matter what crazy stuff happens in the markets, your immediate needs are totally covered. So where do you keep this cash? Not in a current account doing nothing, and definitely not in the stock market. You put it in a high-interest or easy-access savings account. As of 2026, these accounts are paying decent interest, often enough to keep your emergency fund growing and beating inflation. Building this fund takes time, and it should be your #1 priority before you get aggressive with investing. Once it's full, you can redirect this 15% to your growth bucket, but if you ever have to dip into it, you fill this bucket back up first. It's completely non-negotiable. Section 4. The 50% Essentials Bucket, running your life. Now for the biggest slice of the pie, 50% of your take-home pay is for essentials. This covers the absolute must-haves: housing, utilities, transport, and food. This is the bedrock of your budget, and getting this number right is what frees up the money for everything else. The key here is understanding the difference between needs and wants. A mortgage is an essential. A giant new-build flat in a trendy area is a choice. A reliable car to get to work is an essential. A brand new luxury SUV with a massive monthly payment is a savings killer. Groceries are an essential. Dining out every night is a luxury. This is where most people go off the rails. They let their essentials creep up until they consume their entire payday. The two biggest culprits that destroy savings are housing and transport. If you can keep your housing costs under 30% of your take-home pay and transport under 15%, you are absolutely smashing it. Notice I said take-home pay. Most rules use gross income, which makes this system stricter and more effective. This might mean getting a flatmate, buying a reliable used car, or living a few blocks away from the trendiest spot in town. This is the art of looking average while secretly building a fortress of savings. So many people who look rich are one missed payday away from total disaster. The 50% rule forces you to get real about your fixed costs and live well below your means, which is what unlocks the other half of your income to build your future and actually enjoy your life. And finally, my favorite part, the one that makes this entire system sustainable: the 10% rewards bucket. This is your guilt-free, spend it on whatever you want fun money. This is for holidays, hobbies, nice dinners, and all the things that make life worth living. So many hardcore budgets fail because they're too restrictive. They expect you to live like a hermit, sacrificing every ounce of joy for the sake of your savings goal. That just leads to burnout. You might stick it out for a few months, but eventually you'll crack and go on a wild spending binge that wipes out all your progress. The 10% rewards bucket is a planned release valve. It gives you permission to spend on things you love without a shred of guilt, because you know it's already built into the plan. You know your investments are funded, your emergency fund is solid, and your bills are covered. This 10% is yours to enjoy, however you see fit. My advice? Prioritize experiences over things. The memories from an amazing holiday will last a lot longer than the buzz from a new phone. But hey, it's your money. The point is, this is the reward that keeps you motivated. It proves that building savings isn't about deprivation. It's about designing a life where you can have it all: a secure future and a fun present. So how do you actually put this into practice? The magic is in automation. Set up different bank accounts for each bucket: growth, stability, essentials, and rewards. Then, create automatic transfers for every payday. Your income will split and flow into the right buckets without you lifting a finger. You pay your future self first. It is the single most powerful action you can take to guarantee your success. If you found this system helpful and want more real-world strategies for building savings from the ground up, do me a massive favor and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. The difference between someone who retires comfortably and someone who works until they physically can't anymore isn't intelligence or luck. It's not even their income, it's their system. The 25-15-50-10 rule is that system. It removes the guesswork and anxiety from your finances. It forces you to invest in your future, protect yourself from emergencies, live within your means, and still have fun along the way. I'm living proof that this works. It took me from a place of constant money worry to a level of security I honestly thought was impossible. It can do the same for you. Now I want to hear from you. What's the biggest financial challenge you're facing right now? Drop it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching.